Welcome back to the Analog Dungeon. Here's part 2 of The Forest Oracle.
An attempt to rob the party will occur during the night, whether any of the party is on watch or not. This is actually being generous because it's not just an attempt. This shit's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Any party member on watch has to save versus sleep directed at him. If he is successful, the spell will be cast on each party member coming on watch until one is successfully put to sleep. You're getting it. Like they're sleeping you.
Yeah.
At that time, for were-rats that have they have surprise on 1 and 4, they can only be hit by silver or +1 better magic weapons, enter the room and rob the party. The party members should each roll 1d6. Anyone rolling a 1 awakens and knows he is being robbed. He may pretend he is asleep or call for help. If he calls out, the were-rats flee through a secret door located directly across the hall from the hall door. The door stays hidden unless the party sees the rats exit. They may try to locate the door on a normal search. So when the party finds the door, they can either pursue the were-rats, they can check the door several times. If they don't find the door, or if none of the party awakens but while the were-rats are robbing them, they find large rat-like tracks on the floor. Bolo will realize they belong to the were-rats staying at the inn. The were-rats are guests of the inn. Were-rats. There were were-rat guests of the inn.
Listen, Bolo was a thief.
Yes.
Bolo was a thief.
Sure.
So, he may have hey, listen, I've worked with were-rats. They get a bad rap, okay?
Perhaps.
And then they do this, and then he's like, can you not?
The were-rats are armed with swords, a clever gang. They have been staying at the inn off and on for 3 months. It gets better. They rent room number 8 and use that as their base of operations. They have disguised... Okay, so hold on. I don't want to continue. Where are you right now? They've been doing this for months.
Okay, so if they've been stealing from people for months...
Yes.
Also,
a little further down, it says, the were-rats always seem to have plenty of money to pay for their lodging.
If your shit keeps getting stolen,
yeah,
then I don't see how I'm worried that the law is going to go down on me. Well, yeah, because you have thieves that are stealing from people regularly because you ain't doing shit about it. So it seems like you would have more of a motivation to, get the hell rid of them. It seems like this could have been a perfect place to be like, oh, hey, welcome. Glad you're here. You're planning to stay the night? Cool. Let me take you to this side room, and then I'm going to offer you a job for free stay. If you can help me figure out these fucking thieves, something is happening. And you put them onto the scent, and then they say, oh, the were-rats are doing it, and you stop them. It's like, thank you. You solved my problem. Now I don't have to worry about the law coming down on me.
Right.
That seems like a very, very easy way to fix this shit. Otherwise, it's as annoying as trying to fast travel into a town somewhere, and you can't fast travel here. But there's no explanation as to why.
Right.
It's there's a story thing, and it's gotta happen, and because it's gotta happen, you can't go into town. So you have to travel to, I don't know, the town next door, or the gates outside town, where then the fucking cutscene can play out. But it doesn't tell you that that's happening. They just have to be oh, I can't. I'm not going to let down my negligee to let you see the goods just yet. You have to go through my narrative.
My narrative bullshit.
I mean, come on.
So as
hire them to look for the thieves.
Well, here's the thing. As you have noted, Bolo has not discovered the connection between when the were-rats stay and when the robberies occurred. Allegedly, they have disguised their activities so well, right? So Bolo, not super smart, because you would think he owns this inn. Oh, there's more. The were-rats have secret doors in both the south and east walls of their room. Their treasure trove lies in here, including any treasure stolen from the party.
The other part of this is this is clearly an inside job.
But see, exactly. That, I think, would have made this That would have made this work.
Yeah.
But there's no sign of that in this at all. You are to take for granted that Bolo is the dumbest motherfucker on earth and has not been like, oh wow, another string of robberies right when the were-rats check out. That's the 4th one this month. Being a former thief who, as you so astutely pointed out, is concerned about the law, about Johnny Law coming in, and yes, you want to stop these. There's a perfect hook hanging right there, and they just don't take it. It just
There are
So
things that are kind of rough, things that are kind of straightforward, things that are linear are annoying.
Yes.
Things that you see, it's right there. It's right there. It's infinitely more frustrating.
Infinitely more frustrating. How interesting would this have been had they done this whole thing with Bo? Because they really the him being a thief, as I mentioned before, is only just flavor. It means nothing. It has no impact on anything in the story, right? How interesting would it have been if either A, you use that as the hook exactly as you lined out. He sees you and he's like, hey, I'll let you stay here for free if you can find out who's robbing all these people. I'm afraid it's going to bring, if I have one more robbery, I'm afraid they're going to call for the county sheriff to come in. And that guy definitely knows that 20 years ago, I was the great sticky finger bandit or whatever. So figure this out for me.
The wet bandits.
Yes, no, we're the sticky finger bandits now. Or they set it up where Bolo is nice and cool and everybody loves him, and he is talking to the players and he's like, just between you and me, how'd I get this place out here? You make it super nice, right? How'd I get this place out here? Oh, I dabbled in the city for a while. I knew how to find coins here and there. And then everyone's shit goes missing, and it's a mystery. But the prime suspect is the innkeeper, but he didn't do it. It's these fucking were-rats. But then you have to explain how they actually got in and did this thing. Anyway, the were-rats treasure consists of 2,500 gold pieces, 1,000 silver pieces, 9 silver armbands worth 100 silver pieces each, and a potion of healing with 2 doses, as well as anything the players had, because he stole all their shit. The players take care of the were-rats. There's a bunch of things you can do with it, but they beat shit out of the were-rats. Bolo offers a finder's fee and wants to return the goods to the people that were robbed, obviously, and gives 25% of the total to the players, lets them keep the potion of healing. So at least you get that. But again, you take what becomes super railroady nonsense that doesn't really make sense with 2 possibly really interesting ways of this being a fun part of the adventure, and you just completely go past it.
Yeah. But that's also a shit ton of experience points because it's gold.
It is, but this is not in first edition AD&D experience. Experience is a thing. I was thinking that too, because later on you get some crazy shit, and I was like, holy crap, this is fucking your economy, dude. So once you've dealt with all this and got your stuff back, Bolo says, and also there's no way of not getting your stuff back. Like it's stolen from you just so you can get it back. Which, I don't know, that annoys me, but we'll continue. Bolo says you're getting directions from Bolo because he clearly knows where you need to go. Bolo says, follow an old wilderness road. It will lead you safely to the Dragon Teeth Mountains and the old dwarf cave. Through the cave lies the path to the Wild River. Once beyond Wild River, the Druid's Oracle, the Golden Boughs, lies nearby. Be careful, for the country there grows wilder every year, and vermin of all sorts prey on unwary travelers. What you mean like were-rats that you let stay for basically free?
Ugh.
Fucking asshole. Of course, if the party does not tell Bolo where they're going, he will not give them any of this information. So we move on to the Horns of the Dragon. The forest is green and splashed with sunlight. Further east, tall mountains seem to rise to the sky. These are the Dragon Teeth Mountains. The trail goes straight toward the mountains and then slightly to the southeast. The trees grow less thickly here. The trail appears to lead toward the mountains. This is something he does. Everything that seems to, or appears to, or seems to
Okay.
almost.
Everybody does. This is something that
You gotta stop doing this. This drives me fucking crazy.
it is it's a verbal tick. Because if you describe something in absolute terms, it is.
Yes.
And if you later change, then your players are like, well, hold on, which is it? Which is it? Is it? They suddenly stop like, well, I just believe everything.
Right.
So sometimes if it's like you put the maybes in there along the way, you just get used to doing it because you're afraid to couch things in absolute terms because then they're going to challenge them. It's like, it is a door.
Sure.
Is it a door? Could it be a mimic?
Right,
No,
right,
it's
right,
a door.
right.
No, it could definitely be a mimic. Like, so you hear this. This is a Brennan Lee Mulligan thing from Dimension 20. A lot of his things are prefaced with "it seems," or "you see that," or something. It basically is very, very.
That is what it appears, right?
A little couched.
The thing with this though that drives me so crazy is it's stuff that couldn't possibly be not. The tall mountains seem to rise to the sky. The trail appears to lead toward the mountains.
Yeah,
but it all does. Like,
this is a classic. Like, you need a writing coach to be able to tell you
or
use
an editor.
I wanted to say this earlier, but this is the adventure design equivalent of using passive voice in your writing.
Yes, this is the most passive adventure that your players can undertake.
I was thinking about possibly going to.
Yes.
I went.
Yes.
I wanted to do that. I did it.
Yes.
I was wondering if I want this. Like, use active fucking verbs. Put some kick-ass into your writing. I've been teaching writing courses all semester, and it is definitely like, it's one of the first things. Like, no, be bold, be thunderous. Say for sure. Subject verb agreement.
Say what it
is.
Say what's happening, not what.
Right.
Maybe
the mountains rise.
Right.
The path winds. The light dapples, motherfucker.
Ahead, 2 spires of naked gray rock jut upward. There you go. That's active.
See? Yes.
Looming high above the mountains. From here, they seem almost impassable. Nearing them, the chance for a trail upward does not appear to improve until the base of the mountains. A trail skirts the bottom of the spires and seems to run between them. This is the moment where I really wanted to tear my hair out reading this. When you follow the trail, you see a big cave. From the cave, you feel a breeze. Now, this breeze is important because this is the tunnel beneath the Dragon Teeth Mountains.
Okay.
What you see are, if you look around, footprints of beasts of burden and their drovers going in and out of the tunnel, and some footprints belonging to orcs going out of the cave. That's if you even know what these look for.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
The tunnel leads into the heart of the mountain. Light from the outside world becomes dim, goes gray, and finally disappears. The breeze grows stronger, and the light of the torches and lanterns flicker. Along the walls, niches carved by unknown hands hold burnt torch stubs. The floor of the tunnel runs straight and flat. A slight layer of dust lies over the smooth surface of the floor. So they give you a map of this tunnel. And it's interesting because if you start at the very beginning and you take no detours, if you follow the breeze that's blowing, where's the breeze blowing from? The other end of the fucking mountain. It's the only place it can be coming from, unless there's some orcs with a big fucking fan somewhere.
Yeah, the air is less foul here.
Exactly. It's weird how much of Diablo we can quote.
I think that's mostly from Lord of the Rings.
Is it? I could swear that's from Diablo, but anyway.
I'm thinking the moment in Moria where he can't figure out which way to go, and he sits down for the longest time, and then he steps up and says, "Oh, it's this way. Are you remembered? No, but the air is less foul from here."
Oh, no, I don't remember that. But if you stay on the path through the tunnel, you go all the way, like, with the exception of one thing, which happens at the very end, you will encounter none of what we're about what we're going to talk about. Everything that happens, you have to leave the path that this breeze that is growing stronger is blowing onto you and explore further down into. So if you don't do any of that, you don't see any of this stuff. And the way the module is written, it's written like, and the caverns that you can potentially branch off into are numbered. It's literally cavern 1, cavern 2. There's nothing that happens in between them. It's just basically you have a straight shot, and any of these other things can happen and do happen, right? Mm-hmm. So we're talking branches here. Branch number 1, about 5,500 feet. Remember I said there's a ton of just like really long feet distances. This is where we're getting at. Into the tunnel. Another tunnel leads sharply off to the south. The wind blows steadily from the east. Like it's telling you you're going somewhere you don't need to be. If the party examines this dusty tunnel, they find a large, empty cavern, roughly 1,500 by 1,500 and 20 feet high. I don't think you need to examine the dusty tunnel to see that. You just need to walk in there and see what is that.
They pull out the tape measure. Yes. The plumb lines.
Hey,
we're going to examine this for structural
the paladin steps in and puts a thumb to his chin and goes, "You know what? I think this room is 1375 by about 1375." Because nope, we got to figure this shit out. We're not leaving until we do. It is empty. There are no signs of life, but except for a skeleton dismembered except for the skeleton of a dismembered deer. The party sees nothing on the way into the tunnel. On the way out, however, they notice that the walls of the tunnel are supported by rafters that look exceptionally old and weak. So you think, well, okay, something's going to come in and try to knock the tunnel down on top of them.
Sure.
The rafters will begin to groan and creak as the party passes. After the party leaves the side tunnel area, the timbers give a final groan and collapse, showering the main tunnel with dust and small bits of flying rock. Thereafter, Cavern 1 will be sealed off.
We are definitely in a theme park adventure.
Yes.
A very, very kind of, Pirates of the Caribbean, the theme park ride, not the movie.
Yes. I was thinking you're on the Jaws boat.
You're in the Indiana Jones roller coaster.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's right. Where the rocks fall on, but they're caught by like a net, so it's like
exactly.
That's exactly what this is.
Because we're on rails.
That's right. You're 100% on rails. The way it is written, you cannot get caught in this cave-in. It does not start to collapse until you leave. Like the rafters are sitting there waiting for you to finish doing whatever you can picnic in here. You can fucking have it. You can sleep in here if you want to. You're good. But as soon as you step out, boom, collapse.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Let's just move on to Cavern 2. The direction of the main tunnel changes slightly to the south-southeast. I also want to note this for later. Just like when I first read this, I thought that it had collapsed behind them, and so that would force them to move forward. No, only this one little offshoot, little cavern that was empty has collapsed. You know everything there is to know. There is no surprise later. I regret to inform you. The direction of the main tunnel changes slightly to the south-southeast. Even though the direction of the tunnel has changed, fresh air still blows from the exit, baby.
Mm-hmm.
About 4,500 feet east of the entrance to the first tunnel, the one that collapsed, the main tunnel turns south for 1,500, then bends south-southwest for 1,500. It ends in a cavern, or then another offshoot goes south-southwest for 1,500, that ends in a cavern 3,000 by 800 feet and 20 feet high.
Blech.
These are the largest feet measurements I've ever seen in a D&D module.
Yeah.
Small tools lie near 6 mounds of earth, which seem to have fallen from the ceiling. Something protrudes from under one of the piles of earth. So this cavern is crumbling and in poor condition, which you already know because you saw the perfectly planned demonstration from earlier. Under the pile of the rubble, a boot sticks out. Under the boot, a skeletal foot. You find that this is the corpse of a dwarf. He has some gold in a purse, and you can actually pull out another skeleton, but by the time you pull that out, 5 dwarf skeletons animate themselves and attack you. They have warhammers and maces. They fight until they are totally destroyed. So if you don't stomp every bone, if you don't crush every skull, they're going to keep rolling until you can't get rid of them anymore. None of their armor fits. Each skeleton has some gold. If you choose, you can try to bring the roof down on the skeletons by pulling away the supporting beams. This happens, no problem. You just don't get any treasure. So now the tunnel splits. It goes north-northeast for about 2,500 feet until a noticeable split occurs. Branches lead northwest, northeast, and south-southeast. Of the 3 branches, only the one going north-northeast has a breeze. Again, you know exactly where to go. So where do you go?
Yep.
Next cavern, number 3.
Anywhere but there.
Anywhere but
as
there.
long as you know the way out.
Yes. Why wouldn't you just continue down? Like, I this will not change until you get to the very end, and I don't even know that may not even be the case. You may be able to get it completely out of here with no problems.
Okay, but hear me out. Imagine this is Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine you have the whole map in front of you, and you enter the entrance, and there's a curve, and you go around the curve, and there's like paths branching off, but you see the exit, and it's marked exit, and it says exit here. But 98% of the map that fills the whole screen is still covered with fog of war.
Yep.
I mean,
so there are 2
you're
options.
going for all 4 corners, right?
I don't know. What if I'm just doing an Andariel run? And I'm just trying to get to Andariel as quickly as possible.
Well, then you got options.
I mean, yes, some exploration I think is understandable, but you got to think players are like, let's just keep going. Like there's nothing enticing them here. They could very easily have just made this a cavern complex and made you go through these rooms, but instead they made them offshoots for no real reason, right?
It goes right back to passive motivation, adventure design.
Yes.
And it is at the heart of all these complaints about the overall tone and stretch of the whole thing.
Yes. The tunnel to the northwest, which you are forced to take, leads to an empty cavern. There is evidence of mining in the past, chipped rocks and other debris. High-pitched laughter rings out from behind a large boulder, and out steps a tiny, hunched figure dressed in rags and shredded chainmail. I see you found your way in past the orcs. Tee-hee-hee! You must be...
That sounds like something you're killing right away.
You must be very, very careful, or they catch you. Or no, let me read it as written. Or they catches you and does bad, bad things to you. I know. I have seen them. They can't catch me. They try and they try, but I escape and escape. They can't catch me. This is Thisvin Talus. He is a dwarven fighter, level 3. Thisvin Talus is crazy. Living alone for countless years in the played-out mines and collapsed tunnels has taken its toll on him. Here's the funny thing. He's lived in fear of the orcs for the last 25 years and has waged a guerrilla war on them. Up until this point, you've only had very scant mentioning of the orcs. You heard potentially rumors in the inn that there were orcs, and then you may have seen footprints at the beginning here. But this is he's talking about orcs constantly as if they're this deadly, horrible threat that's all going on. Here's how they handle his insanity. On a 1 to a 3 of a d6, he is insane, stringing answers together with fact and whimsy. On a 4 to a 6, he's perfectly sane and coherent. This is rolled each turn. So he has 10-minute bouts of either sane or crazy based on random chance. The party may search the mine. Any party member that rolls a 1 on a d6 finds a small piece of worthless gemstone. No other gems are found. So I just love putting this in here. That's like, you can roll a dice
Ugh.
and find a worthless gemstone or no gemstones at all.
Ugh.
So Cavern A has another sub-cavern. I know why you're here, Thisvin says. He looks around craftily. The orcs have searched for ages for my secret. They can't have it. No one can have it unless I want them to, and I don't want the orcs to have it. He puts his finger to his lips. Shh. They are listening. I can tell. He turns and motions toward the rock. So behind the rock is a narrow, it's described as a ribbon of land. I had to look at the map. It's basically like a raised section of rock that you can walk along that is just drops on both sides. Just like a stone pathway with nothing on the sides of it, right?
Okay.
It's pretty narrow. That seems to waver in the torchlight. Walk carefully. Stay behind me. It is a long way down. He tosses a pebble over the side. It clatters and clicks on its way to the bottom. So the narrow ribbon of land, which is what we're calling this now, extends across this great chasm. You cannot see a bottom. Here's the one thing about this adventure, at least to this point, is that you're in no fucking danger. With the exception of maybe some wandering monsters that may get a little hairy, you're good, right? Like, what's going to really mess with you? Characters must roll their dexterity must roll their dexterity or less, or lose their balance. So you roll a d20 and it's your dexterity or less. So the higher your dexterity, the more likely it is for you to roll it.
Okay.
Right? A character losing his balance falls to the edge. He must make his second roll or go over the edge. The chasm, Russell, is almost 200 feet deep.
Oh, so you dying. You dead. You go over the edge, you're dead.
Well, that led me to figure out, how does falling damage work in first edition AD&D? This is how it works.
Uh-huh.
It is calculated. This is why we know how it's calculated now. 1d6 every 10 feet. So 20 feet, 2d6. 30 feet, 3d6. They made it way more complicated, which is why we don't do this anymore.
Right.
Rolling 1d6 for every 10 feet fallen cumulatively. So a 20-foot fall would be 3d6. 1d6 for the first 10 feet, plus 2d6 for the second 10 feet, and so on. The maximum damage a character can take, which you are absolutely fucking taking, is 20d6, which is reached at approximately 60 feet.
Oof.
You're almost falling... You're falling more than 3 times the max distance you can take damage for, and take 20d6 damage. You're dead. Not only are you dead, if you're not dead by some magical roll of the dice, and you like 21s and you only took 20 damage, and that still probably killed you at this point.
Right.
You're fucked. How do you get back up? It's 20 feet in the air, or 200 feet in the air.
Yep.
Right? If the PCs are roped together, add 3 to the PC's dexterity rolls. If any PC still fails both dexterity rolls, the rope will break as he falls into the chasm instead of pulling everyone into it. Continuing, Thrysvin holds the torch high. Light glints off rusted metalworking equipment and partially finished weapons. This is the famed lost dwarven forge of the Dragon Teeth Mountains. He shakes his head sadly. Gone. All gone. Some fun notes here. If the party investigates carefully, they find an anvil sitting in a wooden base. You have to investigate carefully to find a giant anvil sitting on a wooden base.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that when I walked in.
Big ass piece of metal, large honkin' hunk on a big piece of wood.
The base will yield a hollow sound if tapped. I guess if you have something that goes around tapping everything. Concealed inside the base, the party finds magical bracers +1, which were brought here to have a gold leaf put on them by dwarves, a man-sized suit of chainmail, and a sword +1. Here's the fun little twist. Thisvin knows what these items are, but he must be sane to tell the party the truth. Otherwise, he will tell them that they are bracers of fumbling, chainmail +3, and a cursed sword. He believes this to be true when he is insane. So you're probably not finding this. If you do, you may be running around with bracers that would be really nice for your character that you refuse to put on because a crazy person told you they were cursed. A stone clatters in the side of the cave. There stands a peculiar creature with, again, everything just shows up. It's just, now is the time when we have an encounter. A peculiar creature with 6 legs about the size of a small dog, yellow in color and possessing spade-like teeth, which project from its exposed bony jaw. This is a
rust monster.
No, it is an osquip.
Aww.
I will be perfectly honest. I had never heard of an osquip before.
Mm-hmm.
An osquip, actually, I looked it up because it was that weird. I was like, did you make this up? No. They were a monster available in 3rd edition. They're a magical beast. An osquip was an aggressive, multi-legged rodent about the size of a small dog, hairless with huge heads and large teeth, 6 legs. A few had 8, even fewer had 10. Their tails were also not uniform. They're basically rat-like, but bigger and nastier. Think of a demon dire rat, basically.
Okay.
They sling forward, uncertain, making small squeaking sounds, and the party will be able to attack them first for some reason. Here's the part that really matters. The attack by the osquips makes Thisvin go totally insane. He begins screaming and cannot be reasoned with. His strength becomes 18. He has crazy strength.
Yeah, he becomes crazy strong.
He literally gets crazy strong. Thisvin runs around, hitting at the osquips with a wooden club. One osquip takes a bite out of him, leaving his arm hanging and useless. This is box text. You're getting attacks described in box text.
Yeah.
He screams wildly, "Run! It's the end of the Dwarven Forge all over!" He then runs to a large bracing timber and starts tugging at it.
Oh, God.
"Run!" he yells, "or you are doomed!" Rocks and earth begin to threaten to fall from above. So now you have to
not just begin to fall.
Yeah.
They threaten to fall. You better watch out. I'm a gonna.
You're not gonna like me when I fall. The party may run or attempt to stay and fight. The osquips will not follow them across the bridge of land, aka the ribbon of stone, or whatever you called it. Party members crossing back must again roll their dexterity or less, or stumble. If they fail a second time, they fall into the chasm, as we said before, and die. As soon as they make it to the other side of the bridge, Thisvin tugs the support beam free. "I've got you orcs now," Thisvin chortles with insane glee. "Tonight I will feast in Valhalla while you cringe in Queen Hell's dominion." I didn't realize he was a Viking, but whatever.
Yeah, all right.
The ceiling shudders, osquips pour out of the facing rock and bear him to the ground. The ceiling collapses, taking the land bridge with it and sealing the cavern. The next line is, "The party may wish to stay, but nothing more can be found in this area."
Why would they ever want to stay?
Why would you want
Why
to
the
stay
hell?
here? Are you going to have a funeral for the crazy dwarf?
It's like, I don't know. It's like a complete disconnect.
Yes.
Between actual motivation
Yes.
and believed motivation.
It's like an alien wrote this. and just does not understand how. Anyway, moving on. That's everything there was to do in that cavern. Cavern 4 is another offshoot. You hear echoes and noises that stop an instant after all movement stops. There's apparently a maze. It's literally this whole paragraph of stuff, and then at the end it says, no treasure lies in this tunnel. Next, the tunnel leads northeast about 3,500 feet until the tunnel leads due south from it. The tunnel runs 500 feet and ends in a wall of earth. This cavern is collapsed. There's a sign that says danger, bad timber, no admittance in Old Dwarf. Cavern 6. The tunnel goes northeast for 2,000, then turns for another 2,000. Side tunnel extends and proceeds 1,500 before opening into a cavern. The floor of the cavern is covered with murky water. Again, this is an offshoot. You do not have to come in here. The cavern, 1,500 by 2,000, is filled with 40 feet of water. A ledge lies on the far side of the cavern, but there is no exit. Anyone attempting, for whatever reason, I must stress, to swim in the water or cross it attracts the attention of 2 giant eels. These white sightless eels are attracted to the vibrations of things disturbing your pool. Here's the weird thing. If killed and cut open, their stomachs will yield their treasure. A ring of fire protection and 200 gold in the first, and a magic wand with 1 remaining fireball in the second. The treasure is inside the monsters now. Why is the treasure inside the monsters, Russell?
Why is the treasure inside the monsters? Why is the
treasure inside the monsters?
I mean, I've had big monsters you kill before you cut them open, you find victims,
yes,
and treasure on them.
Big monsters.
Yeah, big monsters.
These are, they're giant eels, but they're blind giant eels that are attracted to vibrations, like what come from living things, not a ring of fire protection and 200 gold pieces. Why was this blind eel eating gold pieces?
Yeah.
Makes no goddamn sense.
Ugh.
Cavern 7. The wind blows steadily, perhaps a little stronger than it blew before. It's almost like we're getting close to the entrance or the exit. About 2,000 east, the last tunnel entrance, a tunnel leaves north. Again, this is another felled cavern. And then we go to the final cavern, which is the one that you might not be able to just 100% speed run your way through. The tunnel winds east for 2,000 feet and takes a turn toward the southeast. A tunnel leading to the southwest for 1,200 feet opens into a cavern. The sounds of echoing footsteps comes from this tunnel. A die roll of 1 on a 1d6 reveals orc footprints in the dust. The tunnel leads to the hideout and the treasure room of the orcs, who have been marauding the west side of the Dragon Teeth Mountains. So we found the orcs that one guy was afraid of that we've heard about just a couple of times. You can hear their footsteps. The guard that they had out front heard the party approaching and fled into the cavern to warn the other orcs. I regret to inform you, Russell, we are climbing back on the rails.
Oh, boy.
The tunnel leaves the southwest. It opens into a cavern 20 feet high. Standing across the opening are 21 figures. One in the lead wears leather armor and carries a spear. Behind him are 3 others in chainmail and a band of about 17 more. They are man-sized, pig-snouted humanoids who converse in grunts and slurred sounds, aka orcs.
Mm-hmm.
They are led by the parties come upon the orcs. Behind him is the leader and 2, I shit you not, assistant leaders.
We have absolute chain of command.
Yes.
In the orcs.
I gotta say, if the military chain of command used leader, assistant leader, assistant leader, it would be much easier to follow.
Yeah, you'd get there.
Following them are 17 fighters armed with swords, spears, and axes. These orcs belong to the Bloody Hand Band and have that emblem on their shields. We don't know what that emblem looks like, but it is on their shields.
Yep.
They follow their leaders and fight until they are wiped out. Equal numbers of orcs assail each member of the party. So each member of the party is going to be fighting, you got 21 here, 5-ish orcs at once. Seems like odds are not in your favor. The orcs fight to subdue the party so they can enslave them. The orcs will then disarm the party. Note, it assumes you lose.
Yeah, right. With 17, I mean, the room fills up with orcs.
Yes, the room fills up with orcs.
And they're very well coordinated.
They are. They have both a leader and an assist and 2 assistant leaders.
They've just gotten back from that team building retreat.
They did the ropes course. It was great.
You are there putting this into action.
Yes.
Section of the review from the thing.
The orcs will then disarm the party and take them into the back of the cavern. The orcs bind the party members securely, setting 2 guards over them. If the party overcomes the orcs, they may collect the orc treasure in the back of the cavern and then continue on. But it's pretty sure you're not going to be able to. The next section is just called Captured.
Ugh. You have been railed could have been appropriate.
Yes. At the back of the orc's large cavern, 50 feet away, are 5 wooden chests. A guard stands watch. He leans on his spear, looking ferocious. You weren't nearly as clever as you thought, were you? Tried to sneak by us, but it didn't work, did it? So many rhetorical questions. You look fit enough. I suppose you'll work for a while before you become useless. Know what happens when you become tired and useless? He grins and draws a rough thumb across his throat, making a slitting sound. I don't want to know what that sounds like.
Christopher Lee could tell you what that sounds like.
That's right. No, Christopher Lee would remark that it doesn't sound like anything.
Exactly.
So the chests hold the orcs' wealth. They are very well organized, as we noted. Their 3 chests hold 250 gold piece in one, 500 silver pieces in one, and 250 copper pieces in the other. The 4th chest holds 50 uncut gems, 10 to 100 gold pieces each, and the 5th contains the following magic items. Potions of giant control, plant control, speed, a scroll of protection from undead, and a scroll of protection from were-tigers.
Oh, I love the super specific lycanthrope protection spells and potions.
Scroll of protection from were-tigers.
Like, unless you put it in the thing, it's like, wow, this is worthless.
Ask me how many were-tigers are in this module, Russell.
How many were-tigers are there?
Fucking 0.
That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought.
Another orc warns, if any of you try to escape, the rest will be taken back to the cavern and tortured to death. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. First, you have to be put to work. The orcs offer no supper that evening. The next day, breakfast consists of a stale hunk of bread and a cup of water. A guard of 6 orcs enter the cavern. You are to cut firewood and gather brush for fires today, one scowls. Come with us. Point of order. This is all they have you do as a slave. They gathered, they probably lost people, and they're taking you all prisoner so you can cut firewood and gather brush. There's 21 of them, and they're orcs.
I mean,
they can't cut their own fucking firewood and gather brush. They can't have 3 guys that do that.
Unless they're deathly afraid of trees.
Which they are not.
In which case, that seems like that would be easy enough for you to get away from them.
Yeah.
But also, like, it's
they have no reason to take you prisoner to use you as a slave.
Yep.
They should kill you and eat you. Like that is you should have enough that you can defeat as a normal encounter, and if you lose, they kill you and eat you. It was good enough for it's good enough for me. It's good enough for Dad. It's good enough for the American people. It's good enough for everybody. That's the way we did it. So they leave your armor on for some reason, and they take all of your weapons unless you concealed them, and they also take all the rest of your stuff. Then the orc warns, if any of you try to escape, the rest will be taken back to the caverns and tortured to death. The orc in charge seems to like that idea. We get it. They want to kill you. We fully get it.
Yep.
He's armed with a spear and a broadsword. Other orcs are armed with only broadswords. So here's basically what happens. Long story short, you're taken out to do the thing. Some of you gather brush. Some they give you a fire axe to chop wood. Some of you chop wood. 2 orcs will help each guard if the party attacks. If the party manages to overpower the orc guard by using the fire axe and large branches as clubs, because you could do that, they can return to the cave and pillage it. If they choose to do so, they will have to sneak up on the guard at the mouth of the orc cavern. If the party cannot overpower the orc guards, they are able to escape into the woods. They may then return to surprise the injured orcs and finish them off. Literally, this is where you definitely get away no matter what you do. So you've gotten away, you're now returning to the orc cavern. From the cavern comes the sound of shuffling feet. An orc on guard duty stands facing the west. So during the day, there are 1 to 6 guards that are standing out there, but they're not looking at you, they're looking to the west. So you're able to sneak up on the orcs, you're able to very easily wipe them out, and then you can plunder the cave at your leisure, because all of the rest of the orcs, the ones you didn't kill, the fucking 20-something orcs, they're out raiding somewhere. They're just not there. So you roll in, you rob them fully blind, and then you kick out, and you're literally just done. Whew. So from there, that's the eastern exit. You are now out of the Dragon Teeth Tunnel,
which is again either a very short amount of time or a very frustratingly long amount of time.
Right. So we leave the Dragon Teeth Tunnel behind, the tunnel that goes underneath the Dragon Teeth Mountains, and we are now on the other side of the mountain, which is where we are to, if the stories are to be believed, supposed to meet some really dope druids who can help our friends with their crop problem. So we've had some fun. We went through the cave of you could skip this in 5 minutes. We've ridden the train. We've ridden maybe a lot of trains.
You know that train you'll get on because you see it's like, oh, it goes inside this mountain, and there's probably cool thing. There's like really interesting little whatever, and it's just 5 statues that have stood there and barely been touched since the 1960s.
Yeah, that's exactly where we've been on.
Yeah.
It's the train you take when you're just tired of walking. You just want to ride for a little bit and sit down. So, but we are now out of the mountains. A brief unavoidable capture by orcs. But we are back on our feet and moving forward. But we are not leaving orcs behind entirely. Because this is in the book. This is section B, called East of the Dragon Teeth Mountains. It has a nice little like illuminated script thing there and everything, which is fun and kind of weird. I don't know that I've seen that in other modules.
But kind of Germanic wood cutting.
Yeah, exactly. It literally has like wood grain kind of feel to it, which really does not fit with this module at all. It's very much not like that mountain climber game on Price is Right. Yo-do-do-day-o. It's not Alpine.
It is one of the least played, but one of my most anticipated.
Right?
You don't know this about me, but I was a Price is Right junkie.
PIR. Oh no, man. I love
man, because growing up in the middle of the woods on a farm,
sure,
there was very little going on at like 10:30, 11 in the morning that was worth watching.
Oh, for sure.
And being just in the middle of nowhere, I would salivate for Price is Right to come on, and always just like, come on, are we getting Plinko? Okay, we're getting Plinko.
See, that's what you want. You want Plinko, and you want the mountain climber game. To me, if you get both of those games, it is an all-time episode of PIR.
Like Plinko kind of is like your mainstream. Alpine, Alpine is for the true believers.
Yeah, that's the true the true PIR heads.
Alpine is absolutely
I love how
for those just diehards.
And then the what was the one with the doors where it was always a car?
Yes.
It was one of the ones where it was always the car.
Oh yeah, because you only had a certain number of games that a car could be involved in.
Yeah. And you had to guess the number, and I remember the thing. We're fully off. We're fully off topic. This is now a Price is Right podcast. No, I remember the thing that I always remember is like Bob Barker would always say, "Gentlemen." It's like he was talking to some like esteemed group. like some Algonquin round table of people that know the prices of cars.
He was sending it out
price.
to his old friars club. That
Exactly.
He was, the guy sitting around the smoking jackets, just like, gentlemen.
Crazy. Yeah. Back to being a D&D.
The price is wrong, bitch.
So we're entering, spoiler alert, the Dryad Grove.
That's where Rob Barker got all of his people from.
That's
that
true.
were always on the show.
No, that's
and
that's right.
He would leech the vitality out of him, which is how he stayed alive.
Like put a Shang Tsung meme and
yeah, exactly,
sucking in all the. So the
Dryad, and then eventually
Grove.
it was California deforestation codes that stopped him from being able to pluck from the Dryad Grove that was necessary
to
keep him
Dryad Grove. Yeah. That was the real clock on his career, was when he lost access to the Dryad Grove and that youth energy.
Right.
The terrain is much the same as the west side of the Dragon Teeth Mountains. Awesome. We don't need a change of scenery or anything. A slope rolls gently down to the woods, and in the distance, a river cuts through the forest. On the eastern side of the river, a spire pierces the green expanse of the forest.
It took me a second to separate out your train metaphor to the terrain of where we were.
Yes.
And I was just picturing us getting out of the cave, getting off of one train and turning around and seeing the exact same train waiting for us to take us forward.
I mean, there are more trains to ride, Russell, believe me.
As long as they're not Blaine the monorail.
No, there are plenty more. There are plenty of more choo-choos that we're going to be forced to ride. The path leads downhill to the southeast, yet in the general direction of the river and the spire. So you're going to move down this trail, and you're going to hear someone cutting wood, and some laughing.
Cutting wood at the Dryad Grove.
Well, that's a problem. You don't know it's a Dryad Grove.
Yeah.
But it is a Dryad Grove. It is loud, rude laughter and rough, uncouth voices. If the party listens carefully, they realize the voices speaking are orcs. More box text. A path leads by the use of language in this, I will never get over it. It is, every sentence is constructed in such a way to be 80% English, 20% awkward. The path leads by a small knoll, as in a grassy knoll, not a small dog man, covered with trees. In the center of the trees stands a tall, ancient tree. Let's maybe use a different word than tree, whose branches seem to spread protectively over the smaller trees and bushes in the area. 4 figures are gathered in the grove. 2 are sitting and drinking from a wineskin, while 2 others hew away at the mighty oak with axes. After a while, the 2 with axes rest, and the 2 who were sitting begin attacking the tree with a saw. These 4 are applying themselves to this particular task with vigor. They are unaware anyone watches. So you got 4 orcs. They've got a bunch of axes and some saws. So you're coming upon this. You don't know that this is a Dryad Grove. And you just dealt with a bunch of orcs. You just killed a bunch of them. Chances are you just walk by. Like, what are the chances of that?
I mean, if you see that they're orcs and you just finished fighting orcs, I would hope that you would at least want to engage with that. It's like,
sure,
finally an opportunity to get at these and take some needed revenge.
Yes. I mean, you've been killing orcs for a little while. You wiped out a nice little cadre of them earlier, and then took all their stuff after they kidnapped you, and you were sort of railroaded into the kidnapping. So you took those guys out, and these guys are just orc lumber camp, right?
Right.
Well, as stated, they're not here to cut wood. They are here to plunder the dwelling of a dryad. And so in case your party is like, I don't care about some orc lumber camp guys, I'm going to leave, the dryad appears to, if you try to go, then your dryad appears. It's very much a callback to the nymph, where if you go in, you don't really do anything, you start to leave, then the nymph appears and goes, oh, I need your help. The dryad, a young girl, blonde, about 16, let's say about 18, and clad in a robe of pastel green and yellow appears. She wears a laurel wreath around her head. Her big brown eyes are on the verge of tears. Will you help me? Those vile creatures are trying to destroy my tree. Please stop them.
Hang on, I'm looking up 70 songs that involve the words big and brown and eyes.
So the platonic ideal of a dryad, of a forest cutie, shows up.
Our disco queen.
Yes, our disco queen, our dryad disco queen, has shown up just to ensure that you will help her. So of course, you know, and if and it tells you, because apparently the author really thinks that people are just going to say no and like leave. Like they're really not here to play this game. They want to just get to the end of the book and leave.
Can I actually nominate Donna Summer to replace
I mean,
our dryad? I would rather.
Though, see, here's the problem.
stopped.
Donna Summer would take out the orcs herself.
I mean,
at first I was afraid. I was petrified.
Right?
Then I remembered I'm a fucking magical fey creature and your orcs' asses are mine. Like,
so canonically, Donna
yes.
Summer has asked for our help. And we have been like, fuck, of course we will.
Yes, of course we will. Yes, Miss Summer.
Why would we ever not?
Of course it says, if her first appeal does not work, if I didn't make her cute and leggy enough, she appeals again, this time with the aid of a charm spell on the member of the group she feels will be most susceptible. I guarantee you everybody knows who at the table will be most susceptible.
I'm just picturing a Bugs Bunny style like attempt to sway the party.
Yes.
And it's just like every single possible trick in the book. Like the dryad is actually, you know, more like Elmer Fudd, but just inexplicably when they pull up the hem of their robe, it's giant leg with a stocking on it, like the lamb from A Christmas Story.
What about this big boy? So you're here, you're gonna kill the orcs. And you do. No problem.
Battle cry, just unsheathing the sword in the name of Donna Summer.
You discover they carry 10 gold pieces, 20 silver pieces. Their weapons are crap, and the rest of their stuff is kind of crap as well. However, there is one weapon, and if you check the sword used by the smallest orc, who appears to be the leader, if an elf or a dwarf picks it up, you recognize it as a dwarven blade that was forged for the elves. Immediately suspect.
I started to say, the elf picking it up and immediately recognize it. I figured because we a dwarf blade, they just like recoil violently.
What is this? If in the orc's hands it was unknown, because apparently this is special magic that only works for player character races. But it's a sword +1, so you get a nice little magical sword that the smaller orc was utilizing. The dryad, whose name is Persis.
Feels vaguely Narcissus related.
Yeah, I almost get like, it's like percussion vibes, but like just the first half of the word. Is grateful that her home has been spared. I'm not going to do the voice. Please wait a moment, she asks. I have a gift for you. Disappears, comes back with a glass bottle. She says it will help you fly. She lets you stay in the tree tonight if you want, so you get a nice little rest if you'd like it. And she says no harm can come to you while you're in the tree. The liquid is a potion of levitation, 1 dose in the bottle. If the party tells her where they're going, which I would assume they would at some point, she tells them they're on the correct path to the Golden Boughs, which is the name of this druidic sect, which we're going to get weirdly a lot more into later. Why this is kind of the first time you're hearing it, sort of unknown. She also warns them to stay, to be very careful, that there are cruel dangers on the east side of the Wild River, which is the river that you saw when you come out of the Dragon Teeth Mountains, and it would be wise to seek the lower crossing on the return journey, as the orcs have friends who might want to waylay them on their trip home. So basically saying you're gonna cross here where you are to go talk to the druids, but when you're on your way home, take the much further south exit, if effectively around the mountains instead of through them, because you've pissed off all these orcs. The orcs are going to come and they're going to get you.
Don't come back over the bridge. Come back up the south side, because otherwise the gang's going to jump you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now,
Does this feel vaguely kind of Galadriel themed? You just left a mountain cave.
I mean,
after dealing with dwellers in darkness,
sure,
and then you're finding, this vaguely fey-ish creature living in a tree and getting a respite from them.
I mean, yeah,
it feels classic.
It does.
I'm not hating on it.
It's a nod back. It's a nod back to the classics.
I think I can kind of see that.
She also warns them about large wolves that have been seen lately in the woods. Mentions and she tells you where the druids are. So she gives you all this information that you're going to need to get where you're going.
Yeah.
So this almost kind of restarts the adventure in a weird way. Like you've done the first half. You almost have like a clean break. You're like, okay, you've left all that behind, and now she's basically telling you you're not going to be retracing your steps. Or I suggest you don't retrace your steps. So it's a whole new adventure, a whole new journey awaits for us and our friends.
Feels like the act break or the episode break.
100%. If this were a TV show, this were 2 episodes, this would be the very beginning of the next one. So once the party decides they're going to leave Persis's tree, try saying that 5 times fast. Then they move along to the river. The path goes down the hill, ending abruptly at the riverbank. The river runs full force, thrashing its way south over rocks and shallows. In parts, the river does look too deep to ford. In other portions, no bottom can be seen. There is a sturdy-looking rope bridge across the river. It's a V-shaped rope bridge. So imagine there's one line that goes the closest to the water, and then 2 lines on either hand for your handholds on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
It says you also see some warg footprints in around the area. Now here's something that I found to be really interesting. They've called these wolves, and then large wolves, and then dire wolves, and then wargs. Now, I know wargs and dire wolves to be 2 different things. Is that just a me thing?
No, wargs are a very distinct thing from dire wolves.
Right. That's what I've always. I mean, even if we're talking about Lord of the Rings, like they're clearly more than just big wolves. Like
no, I mean, wargs are fiendishly intelligent.
Yes,
as one of their kind of key characteristics.
100%. In this, it's all the same because now they're wargs because they start off as wolves and then big wolves, aka dire wolves, and this literally says the great wargs, dire wolves. So it's I don't know, very very strange. So now we have to ford the river. Again, this is the Wild River, named because it is a wild river. It is running very quickly. Members of the party cross the bridge. They can only do so 2 at a time, and when you're in the middle, you kind of sag like you would with any sort of like rope type bridge, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is another one of those things that popped up in that thread that I mentioned a couple times as being especially kind of ridiculous and funny. So you have to go. You can only go 2 at a time. People have to wait until you get to the middle before they can get on the other side of the bridge. Each member of your party attempting to cross the bridge must roll his dexterity or less. Okay? Simple dexterity check.
Sure.
If he fails, he must roll again successfully or fall into the waters of the Wild River.
Got it.
So, what happens when you fall into the waters of the Wild River? Give me some options. You're building an adventure. This feels normal. Your players might fall into this raging river. What might happen to them?
Dire crocodile.
Yeah, some sort of creature within the river attacks them, and then you have to deal with that, right?
Yeah, classic. Yeah, your buddy's falling down. It's in the jaws. Oh my god! It's if you haven't seen Murderbot, I highly encourage it. But it's the beginning episode of Murderbot.
Sure.
So yeah, and everybody's up on the bridge like, oh my god, I have to fire, but I'm a melee focused character. Oh, the irony as their
Right.
buddy is devoured
Yeah.
below.
Yeah, right. Okay, so you've got something else that might happen.
I'm gonna go with rocks, like really sharp
upon
rocks.
Dashed upon the rocks.
Bingo.
You take some damage.
Much like if you couldn't tell whether or not it was supposed to be an African or European swallow at the Bridgekeeper.
That's right. So here's what you don't expect to happen. Those falling into the wild river do not drown. Don't know why, but they don't. The river tears away a random article. Roll 1d4 to determine what is lost.
Wait a minute. What?
1. A sword or main weapon of a character is lost.
Article of what, Jeremy?
2. A dagger or secondary weapon is lost.
Article of what?
It's your treasure. The river is robbing you.
Oh, okay. If they're after the actual jewels and not the family jewels, we're okay.
But if you got some really fancy armor,
right,
it might strip your armor off of you. So yeah, it's a main weapon, secondary weapon, a magical item, or 200 gold pieces if the party member has no magic items. Jeez. Literally, it's yeah. Somebody in the thread commented that this river just robbed me. Or half of the person's treasure, to include jewelry and gems, but not magic, is swept away.
Ugh.
The water sweeps the party member towards some rocks near the eastern shore of the river. He must once again roll his dexterity or less, or receive 1 or 2 hit points of damage from being battered on the rocks, but then he can just get out of the water. So yes, it is a river that robs you.
That's insane.
Right? You've been warned about the wargs. You've been warned about the dire wolves, whatever they are.
Right. But a river getting handsy.
Yes, a handsy river. The Hamburglar in river form. You did not. Now, when you make it to the western bank of the Wild River, what happens? You're attacked by the wargs. Wargs jump. I mean, it was gonna happen.
Right.
Spends a lot of time on surprise. Animals will surprise a party in a roll of 1 on a d10. Otherwise, they give themselves away. When you defeat the wargs, you can search you can find where they were resting, and it's littered with refuse such as bones, feathers, and fur balls. If you pick a fur ball apart, you can find a diamond ring and some bracelets worth the bracelets are worth 350 gold pieces, and the diamond ring is worth 900 gold pieces. So you're breaking the economy because that's a shitload of money.
Yep.
Now we move into, for me, one of the more baffling areas of the module, like straight up baffling areas of the module. The ruins of Castle Karn. A tapered spire of gray stone rises from the heart of the woods ahead. The path runs northeast toward the spire. The forest grows thick and heavy on both sides of the narrow trail. The tree branches far overhead, dissipating the sunlight long before it reaches the ground. Okay. I don't know.
There's a lot of leaves in the way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit in the way.
Yeah.
Whatever.
About 6 miles into the forest, vegetation becomes sparse, and the trees do not tower nearly so high. Nothing stirs, as if all living creatures have sighted an ominous intruder. As you travel along the old wilderness road, so there's a castle. Ahead lies a clearing filled with ruins. Rising out of the ruins is a single tower, which we have seen multiple times now. A few roof tiles are missing. All 4 towers are in this castle. The other 4 lie crumbled in ruins. Nothing stirs within this compound, which is covered with weeds and rubble. 1 pitted and scarred story remains of the main keep. So it's just the main keep and one tower. There's a massive gatehouse in the front wall, faces the road, a drawbridge. Over the arch of the drawbridge is a lintel inscribed with the word Karn, Karn.
If you are a Magic the Gathering
Yes.
player, you are likely shitting your pants right now.
Yes, this is. I don't know that is. I mean, I would have to assume it's super not related, but if it is, that would be interesting.
Almost
I had
Insanely not.
the Karn. I was a big, when I played Magic the Gathering, many, many years ago. I was fully 100% Weatherlight, Saga, Tempest, Weatherlight. That was all me, baby. That was what I loved it. I bought so many of those cards. And yeah, I had Karn, the Pacifist Golem, and it was so good.
You'll be happy to learn that our pantsless Overlord Wonder has only grown more and more powerful and annoying to people over time. He produces some of the most terrible board states, depending on whether you're playing Tron, whether you're playing in EDH, and he just comes in and says, "Oh, you have a bunch of mana rocks? Oh, now you don't.
Yeah, these are gone now.
Sucks to suck." I'm going to poop out more robots that get bigger based on how many robots I have. I'm fair and balanced.
No, I always loved Karn too. I don't know why.
As a control player, I love him. As an artifact player, I love him.
All that shit was so good. Oh, bring me back. Dude, make a movie of the Weatherlight Saga. I love that shit. Gerard and Miri and Krovax and fuck yeah. All about it. So Castle Karn now lies in ruins. It once guarded this road against invaders and robbers, but it fell to siege centuries ago and was never rebuilt. So you have this whole castle, right? And we're gonna kind of run through it pretty quickly because there's nobody here. It's an empty castle. Not nobody, but there's nothing here to fight, really. It's an empty castle, okay?
Okay.
But you are supposed to go through it. Why you wouldn't just leave and continue on if there's nothing there. But I guess, as a castle, you're going to look in and see what's in there. Cool, great, wonderful. So you've got the castle interior, the main keep. You roll in, and it lines out every little bit of this castle. It has there's a map. It has the gatehouse. You go through. I'm really going to give you the highlight levels because there's a lot of play. You can spend a lot of time walking around this castle, and it's basically just a big old empty ruins of some castles, right? There's a stone shed on the castle's north wall. If you look at it now, you're going to have to search. There's a lot of shit to search here, right?
Right.
And most of these places contain nothing. So, unless you're just like a real completionist, you're basically going around looking for your Link kicking every possible pot, right?
Right. This is your classic Oblivion, Skyrim, your Elder Scrolls kind of castle.
Yes, 100%. Just with nothing in it to really scare you.
Well, I've been replaying Oblivion Remastered, and it strikes me because I keep passing all these guard towers that are just, there's nothing outside. There's maybe a couple of mobs, but I poke all around it. There's nothing. And there's a doorway that you're clearly supposed to go into. But I'm like, I'm on a quest. I got things going that way.
This is fully skippable. Like you could fully skip by this.
So skippable, yeah.
So I'm just going to go through some of the highlights of what you find in when you're exploring it while it's empty, because spoiler alert, you're going to come back here when it's not empty, which makes no goddamn sense. But I digress. So you have a shed. If you dig through the rubble of this shed, why you would do this, I do not know, but you might. You encounter 5 rot grubs. A rot grub can infest a person and burrow into their heart in 1 to 3 minutes, causing death. Application of flame or cure disease kills them. Nothing else of value is hidden here. You can literally just get killed by rot grubs and gain nothing.
Good.
Moving along, a tower stairwell, really nothing there. Closed door, nothing inside of it. Then you find a room that has some dirty pallets and a small chest. The chest is, of course, booby-trapped. If anyone tampers with the lock without inserting a key, even though the lock is unlocked, it's a trapped unlocked chest, which is interesting. A dagger flies out of the false front of the chest. The dagger is angled slightly upward, so it hits a normal-sized man in the chest. What's in this chest, you ask? A goblin's dirty laundry.
Yeah.
Because
things I never want to experience ever is the idea that first, goblins have multiple outfits.
Right, that's true.
And that they have them enough that they change them, and they somehow have the decorum to separate out where their stash of clean clothes is from the stash of dirty clothes. We have continuously had the debates about goblin children showing up in your dungeon and whether or not they're fair game, and we have never had the discussions about goblin fashion and home ec.
I mean, and no, I mean, this was in a trap chest that was unlocked with a dagger that it literally says angled slightly upward so that it hits a normal sized man in the chest.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could, if you want to really read into this, that so it hits a goblin in the head, maybe. And this guy was tired of some of his like fellow goblins stealing his stuff.
Right.
So instead, like, but what's worse, getting stabbed in the chest or seeing some goblins like skid marked undies? Just wild. Though I mean, the room's not a total loss, because if the goblin's dirty laundry didn't turn you off and you decide to check its filthy palate, you find a small lump on the underside, and if you cut it open, why you would do this, 5 gems worth 500 gold pieces each are found inside. Nothing else is in the room.
Like stabbing bedrolls is apparently a common enough practice.
But even stabbing it, like you have to feel around with it with your hands. Like, you know, it's wet for some reason. No.
Ugh.
Area D, nothing happening. You can skip it. Area E, nothing happening. Well, actually, in Area E, the shed, you're basically just looking through garden sheds. One definitely has some like animal pins in it. Nothing else really. This one, a shed stands against the south wall. Half the shingles are gone, but you hear a voice. "Don't hurt us, we have no weapons," call 2 voices from within. Goblins keep prisoners in this shed. This is the prisoner shed.
Okay.
Inside are 2 female prisoners, Eva and Fiona.
I don't like the way this is going.
No description given. Thank you. The first gift the author has given us. Both were out picking berries near Wild River late yesterday when the goblins captured them. They have no idea where the goblins are now. The girls have no treasure, but know the goblins have some because they heard the goblins arguing about it. Well, you might have already found it. Area F has a big strong door in it that you can break through. It leads to nothing. There's a kitchen. There's a supply room. The supply room literally only exists to hold a door to another room. That room is another supply room that has also really nothing in it. Some skinned deer, stuff like that. An adjoining area has another storeroom. Inside it, though, is huge jars of coins and some rats that you can kill. They're hanging around in there doing their thing. The rats can give you quite a gross poisoning, which you don't really want. This is where the treasure is, quote unquote. The treasure contains the jar. There are jars, 200 gold pieces in one jar, 500 silver pieces, and 10,000 copper pieces. There's a coffer. There's a pearl necklace worth 750 gold pieces. There is a lid on the coffer that has a poisoned needle. If you get poisoned with it, slow acting poison inflicts 1 to 4 HP of initial damage, then 1 HP per day until the victim is cured. So it's just an annoying poison, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is a sack sitting in the corner that you can, like, there's tons of coins, right? There's literally 12, there's over 10,000 coins, right? There is a sack. The sack is a bag of transmuting. It allows the party to place anything they want inside of it. So it might appear to be a bag of holding. However, while the party stays within the castle, nothing happens to what they put in it. They can take it out, they can put it back in. But of course, as soon as you leave the castle, the bag transmutes everything inside to worthless junk. That's the whole castle. That is, you remember a couple of years ago when it was like Waste His Time 2022 or whatever?
Oh,
and that was
yes.
like, this is Waste His Time the castle. Complete waste of time.
Oh,
and think about the
love it.
Think about the amount of time you could spend here. You could spend multiple sessions in the most waste of time castle you've ever dealt with in your life, only to come out at the very end with, if you're lucky, just what you dug through the gross pallet, the 500 gold pieces worth of gems, if you're lucky. If you put everything in that same sack and maybe some more of your other treasure, because you're like, oh, bag of holding, you leave there and it robs you worse than the river.
Like, I cannot, as a DM, in good conscience.
There's so many times when sentences that start, as a DM, I could not, that are related to this module.
Yeah, but let me finish.
Yeah.
As a DM, I could not possibly stop encouraging them to do that.
No.
Like, I have to. At this point, you have crossed the if you've gone this far into
You're
the
beyond
castle,
the Rubicon. Yeah.
your
Embrace
sunk cost fallacy is off
You're the
the
bad
charts.
guy. You're the bad guy. You need to embrace that.
Absolutely. You have to just like continuously just poke them and saying, hey, you remember when you could have just walked away?
Remember
Do
when you could
you
have not seen any of this?
Do you remember when you could have told that room full of people looking at you with their wet eyeballs to go fuck themselves?
Yeah. Remember when we put you on this railroad to begin with? You had the option, even though you didn't really, but you had the option.
This is the chaotic neutral thief in the party, like telling that to everyone when they realize that the thing is full of just junk. It's just like, do you remember when we could have said no? I said no. You're just taller than me, and I couldn't get heard.
It really does. When you start thinking about like what party dynamics could be like in a module like this, where it's you're almost not like the punishment is almost not like what normal D&D punishment is. Like, you have to utilize a resource that's finite. You and that's really what it all kind of boils down to, is you utilize a resource that's finite. HP, you have to use a certain number of spell slots, whatever. But it's like, remember when we were having a good time? Remember when things were fun? And remember when you rolled on remember when you rolled on the dice to cross the river and you fell in the river and it robbed you and you had no way of remember that? Like the party dynamics of the one person who is definitely the freaking Dante from Clerks.
Yes.
Who's definitely the I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Oh yes.
Like just oh my God, it is.
Yes.
It's a new, more foul enemy than you've ever faced in any D&D campaign before, and it's the author of the of the module.
Like, it could be argued this is the kind of stuff that just like the sickos stick around, and anybody that could have been interested in the hobby is just like, no.
This is something that takes to because I appreciate it because it's funny and why, and it makes me think in ways about D&D that I don't usually think about, which I really like about it. But you do kind of have to be a sicko. Like, this isn't even a how can people enjoy something like Tomb of Horrors because it's so difficult, and like that I can understand. That's a different kind of sicko. This is someone who's like, D&D is fun. What happens when you try to break it? This would be Andy Warhol's favorite D&D module. It's like an art film. That is so it's bad on purpose. So you have now left the castle for now.
Me after I opened the chest at the bottom of that dungeon in Skyrim, and the only thing inside were 5 gold pieces,
exactly,
1 lock pick, and a potion for a first level spell.
Yes, after you've burned multiple higher level spells and 400 lockpicks on your way down here. Yeah, you get 1 lockpick and 1 potion of a first level spell.
Yep.
So we now arrive at the name of the module, the thing that's written on the front, the Forest Oracle of the Druids. And if you thought that the Castle Karn gave you a lot of detail that really did not a whole lot for you. Buckle up, because the Forest Oracle of the Druids, despite it being the thing we've been going after the whole time, is full of a lot of information. The trail from Castle Karn leads to the northeast for about 10 miles. All the while, the forest and foliage becomes more prevalent and the sounds of wildlife increase. The path leads to a glade. In the middle of this glade stands a huge oak tree, almost 1/2 mile in diameter. It's a big-ass tree.
Mm-hmm.
It rises above all other trees in the forest. I fucking bet it does.
Yeah.
Which seem to grow a respectful distance from it. Or they grow in the sunlight, because this tree blots out the goddamn sun.
I mean, this thing, you should have seen this thing from the moment you left the goddamn cave.
Yes, as soon as you step out, the first words out of your mouth was, holy fuck, that's the biggest tree I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, that sounds like the tree from Korra. The big-ass swamp tree that Toph was staying at. The thing is the size of the forest.
100%. Yeah, it's a 1/2 mile in diameter. Wild. Rises above all of the trees. At the foot of the tree, because you're up against it now, rests a small marble building about 20 feet by 20 feet. Inside sits a figure. We've met the Forest Oracle of the Druids. No. The party has located the Forest Oracle. Sort of. The giant tree itself houses the Oracle, and the small marble building at the bottom is just a waiting area. Anyone with small problems or who comes to pay respects are received at the bottom. If you're not important enough to see the Forest Oracle himself, you can see the Deputy Forest Oracle.
You go up to the Deputy Forest Oracle, hold up the thief in your party, the halfling. We have a small problem.
It's this guy.
His name is Toki. He's, well, you've probably met weasels that have better countenances, and he's just going...
Those who have weighty matters to be handled are sent up to the fork of the tree, where an elaborate structure has been built to house the High Druid. So this is like the middle Druid. Hence comes a full page of getting to the Forest Oracle that you need to speak to. First, you must obtain an audience. The figure in the middle building is dressed in white. He smiles serenely and speaks in a low, calm voice. And what may I do for you, my children of the wood? We may be able to help you, the Golden Bough willing, but you will have to see the High Druid for help with weighty matters. The Druid, the party explains what they need. Of course, this is the High Druid shit. Like, we're not dealing with, like, this is High Druid stuff. We need to get to the High Druid. The medium druid disappears for a few minutes. He comes back. The High Druid grants you an audience, but you must first remove your weapons. Only golden sickles are permitted in His Highness's presence.
Wait. What?
Yes. Only the party members who disarm will be allowed to see the High Druid. If any threats are made, why would we be threatening people? This is where we've come to for the last why would we be? Okay, it goes into detail. If any threats are made, he summons the Golden Guard. The golden sickle symbolizes the druidic order to which its inhabitants of the tree belong. We're learning about the religious order of the druid of the Forest Oracle.
Hey.
The Golden Guard consists of druids of level 5 or higher who protect the sanctuary. They disarm the remaining members of the party without violence. Why not just kick your ass out if you tried like crazy? Blows my mind that this is in here. And we're not even done. This is a whole page of just getting the goddamn High Druid.
Mm-hmm.
If necessary, the leader will animate the ivy surrounding the tree so it will pin the adventurer's arms to their sides. Yet again, I ask, why would anybody do this? Just let them... So then, a druid lets down an old woven rope ladder from high above. At the top of the ladder, about 140 feet above the ground, is a platform, roughly 7 feet in diameter. It is a suspension bridge of ropes and wooden walkways that go to another circular platform. This platform is one of two areas where the Golden Guard is quartered. So you have to walk through the Golden Guard's quarter to get to where you need to be. The druid escorts the party straight ahead, brings them to the edge of the main platform. We are now at the platform of the High Druid. A sprig of mistletoe floats in a small bowl at the entrance to the platform. When the druid passes through, he dips the mistletoe in the water and sprinkles it in the 4 directions. This 60 by 40 platform is constructed like the hall of a manor house. At the northern end, an old man in a highly polished but unornamented chair. His great white beard flows down onto his snowy robes. He wears a necklace composed of green oak leaves and acorns with a golden sprig of mistletoe as its ornamentation. This is the goddamn High Druid.
Finally,
the fucking High Druid.
we find the fucking guy.
The fucking guy on the front of the module.
Yep.
Now, to his credit, the High Druid is a level 12 druid, so he's kind of a badass.
And if you know anything about early druidic like leveling,
And we now know everything about
like the level, you didn't just become like a level 1 druid, then a level 5 druid, then a level 10. Like at certain points for the druid levels, there was hierarchy.
Yes.
And politics.
And there was like you had like rights you had to go through, and
oh yeah,
it was a whole thing.
I mean, this was a D&D system that I vaguely recall having like a powerful druidic magic spell that required as a material component a piece of limb from a tree struck by lightning that had been growing in a druid's grove and needed like a year to cure. Like all this stuff that is like, it sounds cool when it's written in long flowing script, but when you're trying to be like, we're trying to avert apocalypse tomorrow,
right? And just the fact that like all of the and in the hands in hands of some, and like in better hands, this would matter, because spoiler alert, none of this fucking matters. That you do not need to know that this is the golden bough and they have the golden sickle and they have the mistletoe that floats in the water and it's a symbol of blah 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 blah. None of this matters. Once we do because I mean, this is like a quest giver, right? You can make a quest giver interesting and give it a lot of like its own story and get a lot of around it and make this is just about as simple a fucking quest giver as you're gonna find in any module. He's literally a dude who you come to him and you say, hey, I need this thing. He says, okay, do this thing for me. And then you go and do that thing and you come back and he does the thing. Like that's all this is. And then you leave this shit behind you and never talk about it again. Like, but we spent all this time with the golden bough and they're going through this whole rigmarole, and sure, maybe it makes the High Druid seem like this big lofty figure, it gives him all this, but at the end of the day, like what he's, well, I mean, let's just get into it. The High Druid speaks. Finally, I hear you have journeyed quite a way, my friend. The High Druid points to the man who stood in the marble sanctuary. My friend informs me that you have come to the heart of the Greaty Oldie Woody to seek wisdom. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
It's just every single time.
Every time, Greaty Oldie Woody. To seek wisdom and information. He is silent a moment. How is it that I can help you? The party relates its story without exaggeration and includes you don't get a choice on this. I guess you just do it. No, I'm sorry. You do get a choice. If the party relates its story without exaggeration, and they include that they aided the nymph and especially the dryad, the High Druid is pleased. He motions for them to be seated on the floor at his feet, like a kindergarten class. If the party lies to him about the nymph or the dryad, he knows it, and asks that person to leave until he has rethought the adventure and wishes to tell the truth. This dude is literally a kindergarten teacher. The High Druid listens attentively, his face becoming grim. He then states, it is well that such heroes as yourselves have come. Lately, we have been bothered by many things in the Greaty Oldie Woody.
Greaty Oldie Woody.
He reaches behind his chair, pulls out a large bottle, and gestures toward it. This is a potion which will help your crops. It is a potion of growth, mixed with a potion of cure disease. If it is properly diluted and applied to the farmlands, the damage should be reversed. Surely,
My old friend Delon will know how it is done. I give this gladly to you for the good of the Downs. Dramatic pregnant pause. If you will do for me a small favor as a sign of your goodwill.
There's the fucking hook.
So first of all,
I smelled a quest a mile away.
Can we say that apparently the thing we have come to get is a cocktail of two relatively common potions?
Yep.
Potion of growth, potion of cure disease. Gotta think, maybe Delon is not as good a wizard as even as he once thought he was. So here comes the epic quest you are supposed to embark on. The High Druid points to the west. It has come to my attention that there are those who are despoiling land within a day's journey of this sanctuary. Wait a minute, I know of a place that's within a day's journey of this sanctuary. I do not blame the animals, for it is their nature to hunt and kill. I do not object to that. I do object to the goblins who would gather the great wolves and use them to unleash their terror on others who live in the woods. That such would happen almost within the sight of the golden boughs, and I like to think he gestures widely to the tree above him, is unheard of. He sets the potion down. If you rid these sacred woods of the goblins who desecrate them, this potion is yours.
That is the end of part 2 of the Forest Oracle. The solution to saving the Downs seems within our grasp, but with a whole other episode to go, what the hell? Find out in part 3. As always, we have a new release every other Tuesday. If you hate cliffhangers and like your podcasts long and all at once, we offer this entire episode from start to finish, uninterrupted, over on our Patreon. Find out more at our home base, analogdungeon.com. Complete your training by snatching the pebble from my hand, or hitting like, subscribe, and commenting. I know which one I'd pick. We'll see you next time.